ladies, my name is Mary Ormsby, and I am a director with Pure Romance on Team Pure Divas. Before Pure Romance, I worked about 40 to 50 hours a week at a day job that I hated. Overworked and underappreciated, is what I like to say. They thank their employees by piling on more work with no increased benefits, like most companies, right? I went to my first Pure Romance party for one of my best friends at the time and found it really entertaining. But it was also way out of my norm. So it was a new world for me, something I hadn't yet been to before, hadn't experienced. And 2 weeks later, I decided to host my own party. Again, with Kathy. Kathy is my PR mama. And my husband in the beginning was really leery about it, and he was just like, I don't know about this. And I said, okay, well, here are my options. I want a ton of the Bath and Beauty line. So I can either host this party on my own and try and earn some hostess credit, or we can just pay for everything I want now. So, like I said, 2 weeks later, I had my own party, and he finally gave in, and about 2 weeks after that party, I guess when he saw how much fun I had and how much money Kathy made, and we just really looked at the business as a whole, I decided it was time for me to purchase a kit and move forward with this as a part-time business, not necessarily something that I was going to pursue full-time. So I did come in at the deluxe level. I figured go big or go home. What do I have to lose? I'm going to get, at the time, my kit sale was about $400. So I got $1,200 in product for about $400. It was a really good deal. So I said, what's the worst thing that happens? I spend $400. I totally bomb, but at least I have $1,200. And I had everybody at my friend's party that I knew would at least buy the stuff off of me, so I wasn't worried about recouping at all. Ultimately, I believe I started my Pure Romance business due to my husband being back and forth between jobs at the time. He's both a union plumber, as well as he was in the oil field for a while. And in the state of Texas, there were very, very few jobs for union workers. So Texas obviously is not a union state. So that was decreasing. People were getting laid off from the union. And then the oil field boomed, and he was doing great. And then the oil field has slowed down dramatically in South Texas. So it was time to say, okay, this isn't working either, but we still need help paying the bills. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and maybe just as a part-time, see how it goes. So I was really just shooting to make sure that the bills could be covered. That was my minimum at the time. I thought that I loved my job at the time, and that it would be a great way to supplement that income, but not necessarily take over my job. So I went ahead with it and had a couple good parties. Had my biggest ever party at the beginning of February, thanks to 50 Shades and Valentine's Day. But I did about a $2,200 retail party, and I didn't know that at the end of February I was going to be let go from that job. So with no warning, I was just let go from my job, and I thought maybe what am I going to do now? So I allowed losing my job to completely destroy me. I thought very little of myself. I beat myself up very hard on myself. I beat myself up on the daily, and I was so disappointed in what happened, even though it wasn't my fault, that it was really hard for me to move forward from. So after I was destroyed and demeaned mentally and emotionally, I realized I wasn't going to be able to go back into the workforce, making a fraction of what I made at the time because I was getting salary plus commission. So I'm like, there's just no way, that I'm going to be able to do this. And I remember sitting on the couch with my son, KJ, watching cartoons one day, and I was filing resume after resume after resume online. I think I did, 100. And that's, I guess, when my light bulb really went off. I cried a lot. And I realized that I could continue to sit there and cry, feeling sorry for myself, feeling inadequate, wondering how we were ever going to afford the lifestyle that we'd become accustomed to. Worried about losing my house, worried about losing our cars, how are we going to feed our children? And that was the moment, I remember it like it was yesterday, that Kathy reached out to me and said, you know what? That's God. God shut the door, slammed it in your face, locked it up, and said, that is not your path in life. And at the time I was like, okay, so let me get this straight. God is making me suffer for reasons unknown, just because he didn't want me to work there anymore. Like, I had a hard time kind of grasping the reality of that. And all I could tell myself is, why would God have me suffer and have late fees on my credit cards and not be able to buy groceries? And I just don't see how he could want anyone to be that miserable. But I thought about what she said over and over and over again. And finally, it dawned on me that I wasn't going to be able to go back to the workforce. I wasn't going to be able to be in the corporate world anymore. And God put in front of me this huge opportunity with Pure Romance. I said, well, at the very least, I need to be able to be bringing something in. So I'm going to go pedal to the floor 150% with Pure Romance and see where this goes. And so obviously I had doubts. My family had doubts. Obviously my husband had doubts. Everybody just kind of saw it as like how most people see party plans. This is a part-time gig, not for long-term, not for big bills, not for anything like that. And I really think it kicked me into overdrive because I was not going to be proven wrong. So I did what any other good student, always stay a student, would do, and I was amassing myself, burying myself in inspirational pieces. And as all my PR sisters like to say, I'm the official stalker on the team. But I started looking at these women who were making thousands and thousands of dollars a month with Pure Romance. And I was thinking, okay, all right, they're doing it. I can do it. If anybody can do anything, I can do it. I'm very stubborn and strong-willed. But so I started stalking some of the legends, some of the big names that everybody knows in Pure Romance, and I began to implement all of their processes, everything they did. I watched every video. I watched everything that I could get my hands on from these women. What are they doing? How are they talking? How are they selling? What are they offering? Just everything that I could do, because I'm like, I'm going to make this work. So I found that quickly, much more quickly than a lot of my sisters, I'm growing exponentially. And I love it. I will never, ever go back to the corporate world again. That's not for me. And I work my own hours, which is a plus on anybody. I don't know anybody that says, sure, I'm going to work 8 to 5 for somebody else. You don't say that. And I realized that I could make as much or as little as I wanted to. I could like totally blow it out of the water, or I could sit back and kind of ride for a couple weeks if I want to take a little bit of time off. So I used that to my advantage completely. And I guess it was around mid-February when I signed my first daughter. And I didn't really think a whole lot of it. She lived about an hour away from where I did, and so I figured it'd be good for her. She knew a lot of people. She could totally kick her business off, and we wouldn't interfere with each other. Because I think, like every other woman who starts like this, I want my business to be my business, right? Wrong. So dead wrong. But my goal really wasn't, in the end, to add girls to benefit myself. I started realizing probably sometime around mid-April what Pure Romance did for me, and how so many other people ladies that I was meeting needed that same opportunity. They needed that side job. They needed that out. And who was I to hold it back from them? So I wouldn't wish the road that I traveled on anybody, not even my worst enemy. And still hard to think about sometimes, but it's been rough. And I knew that if I could give somebody else the gift of an out, like Kathy gave to me, without even realizing she was giving it to me, that I would just feel complete. Like I had done what I was meant to do on this earth. So I have to get emotional. And honestly, I think that's why I've been able to grow my team so fast. Ladies see that I'm genuine, see that I'm real, see that I'm here for them and not for myself. And ladies want that in their lives. So we are now at the end of August. It's been a whirlwind. Like I can't believe I keep looking at the calendar going, September, what? Already? Like time to go to Chicago, what? But I currently, right this second, have 13 women in my first line and 3 active in my second, and I'm waiting on my 4th to go active. And so I am hopefully days away from promoting to advanced director, which is a pay raise. And it's just surreal how this has happened. But most women that are in this business, it takes quite a while to reach advanced director, just because they don't have the same focus. They're usually worried about, parties and things like that, and they try not to think about the team until later. And that's probably one of the biggest mistakes anybody could make in this business. We went to training. Belinda Ellsworth is a fantastic direct sales coach. She's amazing. She's been doing it for years. And her theory is each one reach one. And it's so very true. That person becomes your accountability partner. That person becomes your go-to to bounce ideas off each other. You need somebody in your downline. And you'll find that once you start adding them, you just want to keep adding them, because it really builds up your self-esteem, it builds up their self-esteem, and it's amazing. I know this is what I want for the rest of my life, without a doubt. This is what I'm meant to do. This is what I will continue to do. When you work with such a huge passion for something, then you're not really working, and your joy and your excitement, it radiates. And if you're constantly radiating this around you, then you become contagious. And women want to be around you, and they want to be excited like you are and be happy like you are. And that's amazing, because you can change so many lives in Pure Romance. And so they want us to talk a little bit about ourselves. Since beginning Pure Romance in December of 2014, the Friday after, I bought my kid on a Tuesday. That Friday I went into a coma. Go figure. That's so me. But it took me about a month to recover. lost my job in February, started building in February, started team building in February, lost my job at the end. And since then, I've promoted twice. My override checks are growing exponentially. My parties are booking exponentially. I'm actually getting ready to hit my third promotion, like I said. And so far I've earned 2 all-expense-paid trips, one to Vegas for national training, and they are also paying an all-expense-paid trip for me to go to Chicago at the end of September for a shopping spree. They are paying all expenses, plus my shopping spree money to go to Chicago. So super excited about that one. But my goals currently, like right now, are to make President's Club, and I want to be a senior director by December 31st. So that's 2 levels above and about $30,000 more in sales. It is a lofty goal, a little intimidating even for me, even for as far as I've come. And I'm just going to put my head down, and I'm going to keep working, and I'm going to stay focused, and I'm going to achieve exactly what I set out to do. And that's what you should be doing for yourself. So one day at the end, what am I saying? There's not going to be an end. But my end goal is to be debt-free and to live in the dream of our home, the home of our dreams, and to be able to enjoy all the finer things in life that we had started to live in when I was still working my job. And I'd like to go back to feeling comfortable like that. Being able to take time off whenever I want, being able to retire my husband. Those are all my end goals. So I know, just like with anything, if you really want something, if you push for it, you're going to achieve it. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it happens overnight. It's a different story for everybody, but you have to live your story, and you have to push where you want to go. So even though I have an end goal, I don't ever see an actual end in sight. So I don't ever want this to end. I don't ever want to stop teaching and coaching and showing and empowering my clients and just giving them everything they could ever possibly dream of. So that being said, you're here on our webpage for a reason. So if it's to find out more about becoming a consultant, whoever sent you to this link, make sure you ask them for more information. If you're ready to sign up, make sure you contact your consultant and say, hey, I'm ready to go. Let's go, and get it all filled out. And I just wish you the best of luck. If your romance is right for you, if you're just getting started with us, or you're trying to figure out if this is right for you, I wish you the best of luck no matter what. But know that luck doesn't do everything. You have to believe 155,000% that this is your goal and that you will achieve it. Not that you might, or you hope to, or you aim to. You will achieve these goals if you put your mind to it. If with anything, even if I wasn't the consultant that brought you here, I am a part of the leadership board. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you with any questions or concerns that you might have, and make sure that you get set up with your girl. So much love to all of you, and I hope to see you on our team very, very soon, if not already. And if you are here already, from one diva to another, much love.